Management.
Hold on just 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, let's change these to OfficeAlly.
Yeah, those were the ones that I had to switch.
Were these the ones you were having the NDC problem with?
Yes, yes, and I had to rebuild them.
Okay, so your first step is going to be create claims.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, now we're doing it by assigned or attendee? Do you know the difference?
Nope.
You know the difference and this is how you want it done?
No, I don't know the difference. I have always done it to assigned.
You've always done it to assigned, so I'm going to leave it that way. What that basically means is it's looking at the case.
Mm-hmm.
They put on the case for the provider on the case is what it's going to put on the claim.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? Instead of the actual transaction line.
That's how it has always been done. I don't have no
Okay,
idea.
so then we'll leave it alone. It's not broke, we're not going to fix it. Okay, so we're going to hit create. And it goes through and it creates stuff. Alright, I'm going to scroll over here to the right. And we're going to look at the stuff that was created right now. These providers are all okay?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. So. Here's the new stuff that you got. There's not too many. Okay. So then you're going to hit print send.
Mm-hmm.
Electronic. You're going to choose this down here. And you're going to hit OK. Alright, you've got some other stuff here. It's maybe old.
Mm-hmm. They are old.
Okay. So you might want to go through and either mark them sent or mark them done because they may be things that you've already taken care of.
Yes.
So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to hit check claim. You're going to choose OfficeAlly. It's going to scrub your claims for you.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to look right here. And everything passed, so it all looks good. Now, can you remember somebody that you actually did an injection for?
Not today. We didn't. Well, we did just one.
What about this one right here, the V2509?
That is a depot shot. It's not a vaccine. It's just we didn't do no vaccines today.
Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit send. Claims. OfficeAlly. And this scrubs the file again, making sure it's in the file structure that's legitimate. Mm-hmm. So it looks for anything that's missing, all that good stuff. It also organizes the file for OfficeAlly so that we'll segregate it by insurance, and so it gives it separate files. So you have a separate file for each insurance company.
Mm-hmm.
And everything looks good. You got all green flags, okay?
Right.
So this is green, that means you're good to go. You're going to hit send. And it's going to open up OfficeAlly's website. When this box pops up, you can go ahead and hit yes. Because that's actually going to trigger a report to open and your Medisoft reports to open. So This is where you'll actually go and import you'll actually see your ERAs and any reports that you put from OfficeAlly to the software will appear in here automatically on its own. So when this opens, you can go ahead and close it unless you have some ERAs in there that you want to post.
Okay.
This one you can actually print and give to the doctor so he has an idea of what's been transmitted. If you don't want to print it, it actually archives a copy of it for you so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and close this. And then I've got my OfficeAlly screen. So I'm going to click on Login, OfficeAlly, and you're going to go ahead and log in when the login screen pops up.
Excuse me.
Okay, so you're going to go to Upload Claim, just like you normally did. You're going to upload HICFUS, even though HICFUS is a very old terminology.
I know. What is the difference with the other ones?
I'm sorry?
What is the other ones? The other claims?
UB, that's for institutional billing.
Okay.
They actually do the hospitals can actually submit their claims through here, as well as they're starting to do dental providers as well.
Okay.
All right, so then you're going to hit Select File. And I'm going to actually go out to your desktop, and I'm going to create that folder for you. So that you can just go to your desktop to that same folder you went to before. But it's actually going to be pulling it from a different location, so. Oop, not rename. Send it here first. Okay. Now, close that. Actually, I need your desktop first. I'm going to just call this. Can't be the same name. This one, I don't just want to delete because you have that document there, so I'm going to actually cut this out. Oh, shoot. That's what I wanted. Okay, so I'm going to delete this. It's actually empty now. And then we'll rename this one again. we're back over to OfficeAlly. So we're here.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to hit select file. You're going to go to OfficeAlly Claims. And then you see this is the highest number, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to double click on that. And hit upload. It's going to do its thing. And then it's going to give you a confirmation in the file structure size. So typically what people do is they'll double click on this,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll copy that number.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. There we go. Copy.
Bye.
It's really slow. And then I can minimize this if I want.
Uh-huh.
Okay, take
And
care.
I'm going to go back to
Okay.
that revenue, my desktop folder.
The desktop.
So I'm going to go back to my desktop. I'm going to double click here. And I can see this is the one I just did for January 6th. I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to rename it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to paste that number.
Mm-hmm.
So now I know I uploaded it and this was my file ID.
Your
that
file
was
ID.
Ella.
Oh, okay.
Okay? And then you know that you've done that one. So if you ever come in here and you go to upload file and you see that you have a file that doesn't have a file ID, I mean with the exception of these two because you already did those, but anything going from like now forward and it doesn't have a file ID, either you forgot to put the file ID or you didn't actually upload it and you can double check it to make sure that it went.
Okay.
Okay? So then I'm going to close this. And then you can back out of everything else. So under revenue management, I can close my claim preview. I can close here. You actually did have some errors.
Yeah, those were the errors that was the one that we just did.
Yes, this is the file we just did. So I'm going to come up here to print and edit. And you can do this before you transmit or after. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that errors out automatically gets excluded from the file.
Okay.
So, patient signature on file missing.
Mm-hmm.
This diagnosis code is not valid.
Which is valid. I don't know what to do with that. I have to find out with them why they're not accepting that code.
And this one is actually an empty claim anyway. See how there's no procedure code?
Mm-hmm.
You can delete that claim altogether because there is no procedures on there.
Okay.
So it just looks like your checkbox is missing. So over in Medisoft, let's look at Abigail Kilgore.
Kilgore, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to come over here, and you can do it from the patient screen or the transaction screen, doesn't matter.
For Abigail.
Yeah, and then you're going to right-click on the patient,
Mm-hmm.
edit, and then you go to the other information tab.
Signature on file is not checked.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We also want this to be, why is this
Patient.
not populated?
I don't know. That is really strange.
What doctor should it be under?
1. A.
Yeah, these two absolutely need to be populated.
Definitely,
And
and
then your
they know
signature on
that.
file box check.
The patient billing
to
code
the
doesn't
current
need
date
to
if
be.
you don't put a signature date in there, or you can put the original signature date in there.
That has to be in there?
The checkbox has to be, a date doesn't have to be there. It'll default to the current date.
Okay.
Okay? If you want to put the date in there, put the date that they actually were very first patient in your office.
Okay.
And the date they signed the paperwork.
Okay.
Okay? And then you hit save. So that's what's all that's missing on
Those two
one
claims.
errors that you have. So when I go back over here to preview, you can actually print this report,
Mm-hmm.
fix your claims, and then the next time they get sent, they'll actually be correct. They won't be red. They'll be green.
Okay, so I have to go in the system and fix them? Not
Yeah.
because they didn't go. Not even they didn't even go to OfficeAlly, correct?
No, they did not. And let me show you why. I know that. So I'm going to close this. You know they didn't go because they have a red flag right here, and if I scroll all the way over to the left, see how these boxes aren't checked?
Yes. If I check them, will they go?
If you check them, it will force them to go through. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because sometimes you will find that the code is correct, and they're still telling you that it's not. If I have
Now, you will have some issues with, especially pediatrics, when it comes to some new vaccine codes that were released this year.
Mm-hmm.
So what we can do is we can turn off the CPT edits if you want, because number one, Medisoft's not going to let you enter an invalid CPT code unless you put it in yourself. And number two, OfficeAlly is actually going to catch that as well. Mm-hmm. So if you want to turn off those edits so these don't come up as red flags, we can do that. Do you want me to turn those off right now?
Well, if it's no, because then we will not have seen that error, that signature on file and all of that, correct?
No. The only
just for the
thing
vaccines?
is the CPT error edit. So in other words, don't tell me if my CPT code is wrong, because I know my CPT codes are good.
No, better not.
Okay, all other edits stay in place. So any data entry error that you did on the patient or on the case or anything like that will actually still appear.
It doesn't depend all on me, the CPT codes and the diagnosis codes?
The CPT code edits get shut off. And let me show you what I'm talking about so you can actually see. I go into that configure, I go to the insurances, and then right here where it says assign edit, you have Medicare edit, you have checking the diagnosis, so it'll check, that's why you're getting the error that says that diagnosis is invalid. See the check CPT? I can turn off just the check CPT one.
No.
Have your global period, your CCI, your common edits, which are your patient signature on file, missing member ID, stuff like that, that all still is in place.
No, let's leave it, Shanna, because if there's an error when they are entering, I need to be able to catch it before it goes.
Okay. And you can always push it through too. So it's up to you.
Yeah, if I find something that is fine and it's still giving me an error, I remember you have told me that,
Okay. So does it make more sense now?
Yes, a little bit more sense. Just have so many different things in my mind.
I know. I'm so sorry. I will get all over OfficeAlly about that. I think his name is Jeremiah, so they can actually go back and check. And now that I'm also giving them your account number or your login name for OfficeAlly.
Yeah, they can check who was the
account name with them, so that they can track back and see who it was they actually talked to.
Yes.
So they'll figure it out. And Paul Howard is who I'm actually emailing. Really good guy. And he understands this whole revenue management piece of it. So, and I've already told OfficeAlly, if you guys want training on how this software works, you just let me know and we'll provide that for you. But don't you dare tell our clients that they need to go back to print image and do not adjust any revenue management piece of it. So they are usually pretty good about staying hands-off. So, and like I said, McKesson doesn't allow just anybody to touch that software. You actually have to be certified to touch it. So, and most Medisoft VARs that are our counterparts or our colleagues don't have the certification to do that. So there's very few that do.
Yeah.
A pretty long time.
We were pretty sure there was some lack of training on that person, definitely.
Right. And I would never have recommended, I mean, like I said, we've worked with OfficeAlly for over a decade, so I would never have recommended them to you if I thought they were going to be inefficient, so I apologize for that happening.
Okay, Shauna.
Okay.
Okay. Other question I had for you.
Okay.
Do you have or do you know how does it work for us to find a way to upload database demographics so we don't have to have super bills? Do you know?
To upload?
Yes, we make patients sign a paper where they have to, the super bill, they have on the top, they have to fill out their right address and the correct insurance and everything so we can double check. In the same paper, the doctor will be the one putting the CPT codes and the diagnosis and everything that has to be entered in the computer.
There's actually a couple of programs out there. One of them is called MediCheck-In. And it's actually a VAR that we work with that is like us. So they sell Medisoft and They sell other kinds of things, but they're also, many times the bars have programmers that actually develop tools that work with Medisoft. And one of them is called MediCheck-In. And what it does is you either hand over, you can put a kiosk in your lobby to where the patient can walk up and they can type in all their information. And when they type all that in, it actually populates Medisoft for you.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think it's extremely expensive. I think it's pretty inexpensive. And you guys have a pretty young demographic, so most of your parents that walk in the door, I'm sure, are very computer savvy. So you can either hand them a laptop, or which you don't probably want to do, or have just a computer in the lobby that they can actually walk up and start plugging stuff in. It may even be where they're able to access it through the internet, so they can do it from the luxury of their own home, and they're able to plug all that stuff in. And I think it even takes the copay, so they can like swipe their credit card or something like that and take the copay. I think it may be the website that you want to go to. I think is I have an app for that, is what it's called.
Because I saw OfficeAlly offers something like that. I haven't been able to get a hold of them because they're busy and they haven't returned their call to me. But I saw that they have the OfficeMate that it says that they can do something like that. I wanted to find out the super bills and the database, the demographics, and all of that can be uploaded. But
what is that?
So our goal is to eliminate the paper, to eliminate the super bill paper.
yes.
Yeah, I don't blame you. What is Twisted Technologies is the company.
Twisted Technologies.
And Mark is the owner of Twisted Technologies, I believe. Let me see if he's got a link to his page here. I think he has to keep those apps separate from the Medisoft stuff. I don't think he can actually sell them on the same website. Shoot. Call them at this phone number. Let them know that you want to know about MediCheck-In.
Okay.
And they'll either direct you to the website or they'll give you Mark's email for you to talk to him directly.
Okay.
Mark, what's Mark's last name?
Mark, I can picture his face. Shoot, what is his name? I think he's Italian.
Mark Sarducci.
Hold on, let me see if I actually have his email.
It's Italian. You like Italians,
That's
man.
your
Yeah.
sheet.
There it is. I would like anybody that can make this easier.
Here it is. I got it. Mark Mancini. And
Mancini.
his email is mark@twistedtechnologies.com.
Okay.
Mancini, you
And
said?
he is a really good guy. He knows his stuff.
Mark Mancini?
Yeah, Mark.